So it's January 1st, and we are going to talk about writing tips for giving your characters New Year's resolutions. This is the time during which many people and your characters sit around and think about what they want this new year that is beginning to be like and how they want to change this year, right? Resolutions are always about changing ourselves and our characters changing their lives as well. And sometimes on January 1st, you are working through cleaning up what is hopefully the remains of an incredible party. As your character works through their resolution, there has to be a progression. In our case, we have a very clear way to show progress, which is that this very tall pile of messy dishes and this disastrous dining room are going to get cleaned up, hopefully, by the end of this video. Every resolution has to start somewhere, and we're starting at the beginning with this one. With a spoon. Whoa, it's encrusted. With an encrusted spoon.
Encrusted with deliciousness.
Ooh, this is heavy. Wow, very heavy. That actually works pretty well. So, one of the things that now you want to think about with resolutions is that they have to be tied to your character's central conflict. Whatever it is that is preventing your character from getting what they want and becoming who they want to be, the resolution has to be tied exactly to that. And the conflict could be an external thing that's happening. They really want a promotion, but they have this awful boss that just will not let them. But usually those central conflicts are also tied to an internal conflict, some kind of wound. They're usually called core wounds that your character has. And the thing that they're going to resolve to do is something that their core wound is going to prevent them from doing, because there's so much pain and it's going to be very hard, because of course a resolution is a desire and there must be with that desire some blockage and some conflict to prevent them from getting it. We started this video with a party. We have no idea yet whether the party was a happy one or a sad one, but a resolution for your character could, for example, be, I want to be more sociable. I am like hiding here and being depressed and I want to see more people. Perhaps if that's the case, then their core wound might have something to do with not being loved enough by their parents. That's usually the core wound, by the way. That's one of the biggest core wounds, because we do actually, a lot of us carry it, and because they weren't loved enough by their parents, then they really struggle to have relationships. And then this year, their resolution is going to be to see more people. You could also flip it, and maybe because they weren't loved by their parents, they are always trying to fill that void, but they don't know how to hold relationships. So they're always hanging out with person after person after person, party after party after party after party, and that leaves them feeling empty. And maybe their resolution is, I need to spend more time at home and focus more on my job, and maybe focus on fewer relationships that are deeper and that make me feel better. Either way, make sure that this is something really big that your character is working through, and that it can't be easy for them to achieve it. So one, it has to be difficult, and two, the stakes of them getting this have to be high, if not because of the thing that they're getting, but because of what it heals within them. New Year's resolutions are also about beginning again, right? There's a new year, we get to restart, and we get to figure out what we want to reinvent ourselves as. Of course, reinvention is not quite a lie, but it's very hard to change. So we begin the year with big hopes that we're gonna completely change, and then of course it's very hard, and there you have your conflict. But you're gonna help your character figure out how to have that hope and that moment, and as the year goes on, then there will be more reality. The realism will hit them, but it's an important moment of reflection and reinvention. New Year's resolutions are also cyclical. Maybe if your story is long, your character didn't quite heal their core wound. We never quite heal our core wound actually, but they didn't get where they wanted to. But there's always next year. And next year, it might just get a little better. Unless you're writing a tragedy, in which case, next year, it's gonna get even worse.
Yikes.
Well, if you're writing a tragedy, it's gonna have to. But even in tragedies, even as it gets worse, the journey is pretty worth it. We like the journey, even for the very sad stories. There you go. Happy resolutioning for you and for your characters. And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.